Hi, my name's Dray. I'm here with Chris Bobryk.
What's up, guys?
At Leadbetter with the new Eleveight lineup of kites for 2021/22. This is the XS. We're really excited about this kite. It changed a fair amount from last year. It's set as their 5-strut, full send, boosty kite. It's been setting records around the world. It just won the first stop of the GKA World Tour. Yeah. Stig has the highest woo score off of flat water, so add like 8 to 10 meters for those waves that those guys in South Africa are jumping off of. And then he's still at number 4 in overall height. It also just won the European world record. So super sick. That's just as far as like people using it. It hasn't been around that long, so this is all like this kite's performance. It's not buying the best rider. It is this thing is really taking people to new heights. No pun intended. So changes for this year is the flatter arc. It also has a higher aspect. So they thinned it out a little bit, flattened it out a little bit to get more wind range and to make it just a little bit more user-friendly, a little more responsive, and really kind of give you better bar feel. Across the line of all the kites, there was weight reduction in the trailing edge to corner connection. They took some of the Dacron out of the edge, but did a really cool job of this transition to go from 2 pieces of Dacron to 1 to 2 pieces of canopy to 1 piece of canopy to really make a kind of like a less like abrupt transition between materials. So the load is transferred more kind of seamlessly, and overall they were able to reduce weight, and it adds to the longevity of the kite because there isn't that kind of like sharp seam between 2 like completely opposing materials where it's going to create a weak point. And then they got a new lighter bladder material in there. All that equates to lighter kites, can fly forward faster and create more lift ultimately. Also works really well in light wind. A lighter kite will respond faster and be able to more pull through lighter winds with a lighter kite.
Depending on what you want to do, you can change you have 3 different settings: pivot, standard, and wingtip for freestyle. So you can really dial in how you want to ride your kite. And yeah, every different change, even though it's an inch or 2, like it makes a huge difference. So if you don't like it in certain conditions, you try the other one, and you know you'll be ripping.
I feel like this is really not well understood by most riders, including myself, and so it's really fun to play with, and it really changes the feel of the kite.
Standard settings are just gonna be more of like a looping. Instead of pivoting, you're gonna feel the power in the turns of the kite.
Interesting. Cool. Yeah. Cool. For me, one of the things that I like to, when I see this, what helps me visualize the difference is the pivot. Actually, the turning axis is way over here in the middle of the kite. So the kite is going to just rotate on a central axis, versus the standard is right around here at this strut here. So that is going to rotate with a little bit more of a turning arc because its central axis is that kind of second strut, whereas the tip is going to rotate from this axis, which is much more of it's a larger turning arc, and so that will give you a more kind of power throughout the turn versus possibly something that's just going to straight rotate and then go a different direction. And I've used a bunch of kites where you don't want to move that because the kite doesn't work outside of the standard setting, but this kite actually, like all of these kites, work really well in all the settings, and so I totally encourage people to play with those and see what they like.
Yeah, the really cool thing, so on the XS we have 1 pulley system, and it's the difference between our pulleys is it's a Delrin, the material is called Delrin. Yeah. So it's self-lubricating, so you'll never get wear on this line, although we do have the lines that would be easily replaceable. However, at our warehouse, we never sell them because they don't wear out. So the Delrin insert right here for the pulley keeps anything from wearing out, and the pulley lasts forever as well. Again, yeah, we don't sell any because they don't wear out.
How have the feedback been from riders?
Your riders here haven't tried the last version.
Okay.
But with the new version, what they've said is they love the feedback from the bar. It's not too light, not too not too strong, just right in the middle. And there's the lift from this kite and the versatility. That's what everybody's liking about this one. And so the 3-stroke kite will have a more pivotty turn. You can just turn it a little faster. It's still very lofty. But in that aspect, so a lot of the bigger riders still want that. They're not, so a lot of people will ride the RS and legitimate light winds, right? Like I'm like 165, like a normal size rider, or just the average weight, you know? But larger riders still want that support from a 5-stroke kite, and maybe they'll ride like a 14 meter and even like 18 to 20 miles an hour of wind, and they'll still have that support. So it's more of like a performance kite compared to, say, like a super light. It's not specifically made for super light winds, made more for performance at all times. You know, it's the Ferrari of our lineup.
Yeah, flies really far forward, lots of lift, good hang time. Just really sendy kite if you want to hit the moon. Yeah, and
these little adjustments they've made have made a big difference. So if you like the last one, you're going to really love this one. And if you were on the fence on the last one, it's definitely worth trying this one out because the changes are, you know, pretty drastic.
Sweet.
Hey, thanks for watching. Click at the bottom, subscribe, watch our next one. This is the first one we're coming out with. Next we're going to do the RSOS. As the new line comes out, we're going to keep making these videos. And stoked to see you next time at Murray's with Dray and Chris.
Awesome. Thanks.